and we had a ball. But that's where a lot of the pilots' families lived. So there was a lot of tragedy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of local. Oh yeah. Maybe the late '80s. Mostly like hardcore. Like the first King Horse stuff. Trying to maneuver around it now.
That's actually a different copy than the last one we saw. I had like 4 of those.
I know, man. It's killing me.
I just want to make sure before what. Yeah, somebody said something back here. I'll put this back inside. Yeah, I want there.
Yeah, just make
Go ahead and ring that bell.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you doing cash or card?
I take cash. Okay. It's going to 30 bucks.
Yeah. I owe you 10. I'm saying that's where I put your money in my pocket.
Look at the house.
I just sold 3 Tupacs for $60.
Yeah, I collected graphic sets. Guy came in from Blondie.
Yeah. Like I said, I just sold 3 Tupacs for $60. Like the first sales this morning. It's just crazy. But I find that stuff quite often. So, thank God.
I hate relying on my memory to remember if I already have a damn record or not.
You know, you've got every one of those records. I don't know why.
I don't know if I have it or not.
What do you think you're doing over there? That's kind of how it started with me because it was that thing back in the day where it's like, wait a minute, I got 6 copies of Paradise Theater because I kept buying it thinking I didn't have the damn thing.
Yeah, you did, right?
That's a heavy one
I'm
right
just
there.
trying to visit it today.
I got that one, and in the metal box, there's a copy of the second album. Really? They're both from it. Jeez Louise. Yeah, I got a bunch of heavy metal albums long ago. Metal's heating up again. It was one of the things we did a show, and this guy had a ton of them. He was selling them really cheap. So we got lucky on several shows like that here. And our record shows, I do a lot of vintage shows. I do a lot of record shows. And it's pretty impressive. Cool. Really fun with it. The record ain't too bad, but it's roached out a little bit in the back here. Oh, the last one. It's all good, so I got a little water on it. Of course. What else would you expect? Oh, I know. It was like the other day, I thought I found a fantastic copy of the Prince Batman soundtrack. Shrink wrap, high tags. I was like, oh my God. And this guy had it for $10. I took a record out. I swear to God, they played.
I got a Dollar's Greatest Hits.
I went to the Spin record show. This is a smaller show that happens here like once a year. It's usually, kind of a low attendance, but today it was packed, absolutely packed. The weather has been very nice here in Louisville, Kentucky, and almost everyone paid for the early bird, 9 a.m. We all packed the house, people kind of elbowing their way into the crates. Not the best environment, honestly. Some of the crates were under the tables or people under your feet, and it was pretty wild. I didn't find a whole lot of records. Most of the stuff I was interested in was priced really high, and quite frankly, as a person who is a prolific record digger, I'm out all the time looking for records. I would just rather wait and find those records in the wild. If it wasn't a good deal, I pretty much passed on it. Some of the vendors brought some fire to the show, just a little expensive for me. That said, I did buy 2 records, and after that, I went around and checked some of my regular spots and pick up a few more. And we're going to get into them right now. There was a little old lady there selling records, and she said that she was saving up so she could start a mobile record store. So I had to find something to help this lady out. Copies of this record have been going from between $30 to $60. It's going up in price. This one is in the shrink. Blondie, Parallel Lines. We all know this record. Got two monster hits on it, Heart of Glass and One Way or Another. Now, this has the longer disco version of Heart of Glass on there. Really interesting situation here. I saw this for $14, pulled it out of her crate and pulled the record out, and it was super dirty. So I just stuck it back in the crate and left. I continued my search. Well, when it looked like I wasn't going to get anything at all, I went back and said, hey, would you take $10 for this? Thinking to myself, well, this would be a good one to scrub up and run through the Humming Guru a few times. And I got to tell you, it had like a cloudy look to the disc. Once I ran it through 3 times, it's fairly quiet. I was really happy to get this for $10. Stopped into Half Price Books. You know, I go there quite a bit. And saw this minty little operator right here. Kraftwerk's 5th record. Radioactivity. Cool cover. This is a bilingual affair, of course. German and English. Very cool. It is on the Maroon Capital label. This is what the Singularity might sound like. Man and machine merging to create some type of ethereal soundtrack. This is a cool record. Sounds great. Dare I say, audiophile in nature. It's really killer. Super duper clean, if that's even a term. This thing is virtually flawless. Jacket is very nice. Paid $20 for this. Had a coupon, 10% off, not a lot, but you know. Saw my friend Dwight while I was there. You might know Dwight, he's been on previous episodes, and he was holding this record in his hand, and he was nice enough to just pass it off to me, and I bought it for $14.99. The Real Thing, Taj Mahal. This is a double live album from folk blues singer Taj Mahal. He is a multi-instrumentalist and oftentimes a genre-bending artist. He kind of mixes the blues with African and Caribbean, however you want to say it, influences. This one here is with a large ensemble. There are trombones, flugelhorns, saxophone, congas. But Taj himself, he's playing banjo, he's playing resonator guitar, harp. This sounds excellent. Definitely reference quality for a live recording. This is very nice. As the show was winding down, for me at least, I walked over to one table that had been packed the whole time. It looked like mostly new stuff. But what I didn't realize is this gentleman who was selling mostly new records was sharing his table with somebody who had just 2 crates of records. And as soon as I started flipping, I saw a record that I've been looking for forever. Now, he didn't have it marked, and I think he just made up a price on the fly. I said, how much is this? He said, $20. I said, all right, sold. It is Dead Mint in the shrink, and even though it's a really popular and common record, it's hard to find. The Highwaymen. That's right, this is Cash, Willie Nelson, Christofferson, and of course, Waylon. This is a fantastic record. Has the hit, The Highwaymen, which is one of those songs that can really bring on some goosebumps if you're listening on the right rig. Got this cool kind of Ghost Riders cover. Reggie Young is on here playing fantastic guitar. If you don't know who Reggie Young is, I suggest you find out. He's a very famous session guitar player, but sometimes he'll hit the road, and this is one of those times. It's a beautiful sounding record. The fidelity on this is outstanding, big, huge soundstage. The vocals are recorded to perfection. This is on your typical Columbia 360. Yeah, Columbia all the way around the label, guys. Not to be confused with the 2i 360. I was super stoked to find this. Like I said, it's hard to find. I mean, this was omnipresent in my life growing up. I used to hear these tracks all the time on country radio. I never see the record. I guess it's in people's collections and they don't want to let it go. I stopped in to a location that I never go to. It's not that it's bad or anything. It's just it's hard to get to the parking, and I don't often find a lot of things there. It's called the Fat Rabbit, and it's like, you know, a bit of a hipster thrift shop, consignment store. They sell like kitschy t-shirts and used clothing, stuff like that. But they'll oftentimes have some records at the back, and every now and then they'll have some really nice records. This record was there. It was $40. And I thought, yeah, I guess I'm going to pay up for it because I have the first of this band's 2 records from the majority of the members of New Order. Joy Division, Closer. This is the first U.S. pressing. One of the easy ways to tell if you have a first pressing of a Joy Division record is it's on a translucent vinyl, probably what we would refer to these days as a super vinyl. It looks black when you don't hold a light up to it. And my other one, Unknown Pleasures, is on purple tinted vinyl. It's very nice. Now I have both of the Joy Division records. I kind of like Closer better than Unknown Pleasures. Now, this was released after the suicide of Ian Curtis, the singer for Joy Division. And it is their last full-length studio record. This one here, it's got some coffee stains on it. Let me give you some advice. When you're listening to your first US pressing of Closer, try not to spill your coffee on it, because later on it makes the person who is going to buy it very sad because you really can't get rid of it. But that said, textured cover, just like Unknown Pleasures has a textured cover. And this is classic post-punk sounding record. Lots of ambience and cool drums and bass. I really love that. The guitar work is textural and atmospheric. It's a great sounding record. Really punchy. Definitely well recorded. Maybe 2 masterpiece level records from Joy Division. Listen, I've got some stuff really cooking here. And I don't want to give everything away, but if you've made it this far in the video, next week's video is going to be, it's going to be a doozy. And I'll tell you why. Can you see that? Can you see that? If you can see that, that's what the video next week's going to be about. And that's all we're going to say right now. Because I'm going to live with those for another week before I talk about it. But it's serious business. So, yeah. Until we meet again, that's right, folks. Bob out.